A doctorate or doctor's degree or doctoral degree is an academic degree awarded by universities that, in most countries, qualifies the holder to teach at the university level in the degree's field, or to work in a specific profession. In some countries, the highest degree in a given field is called a terminal degree. Many universities also award honorary doctorates to individuals who have been deemed worthy of special recognition, either for scholarly work or for other contributions to the university or to society. History. The term doctorate derives from the Latin docere, meaning to teach. The doctorate appeared in medieval Europe as a license to teach Latin. Licentia docendi at a medieval university. Its roots can be traced to the early church, when the term doctor referred to the apostles, church fathers, and other Christian authorities who taught and interpreted the Bible. The right to grant a licentia docendi was originally reserved to the Catholic Church, which required the applicant to pass a test, to take an oath of allegiance and pay a fee. The Third Council of the Lateran of 1179 guaranteed the access, at that time largely free of charge, of all able applicants. Applicants were tested for aptitude. This right remained a bone of contention between the church authorities and universities that were slowly distancing themselves from the church. The right was granted by the Pope to the University of Paris in 1213, where it became a universal license to teach, licentia ubiqua docendi. However, while the licentia continued to hold a higher prestige than the bachelor's degree baccalaureus, it was ultimately reduced to an intermediate step to the magister and doctorate, both of which now became the exclusive teaching qualification. According to Wellington, Bathemaker, Hung, McCulloch and Sykes, the first Ph.D. was awarded in Paris in 1150, but not until the early 19th century did the term Ph.D. acquire its modern meaning as the highest academic, doctoral degree. Following university practice in Germany, university doctoral training was a form of apprenticeship to a guild. The traditional term of study before new teachers were admitted to the Guild of Masters of Arts was 7 years, matching the apprenticeship term for other occupations. Originally the terms master and doctor were synonymous, but over time the doctorate came to be regarded as a higher qualification than the master's degree. Makdessi's revised hypothesis that the doctorate originated in the Islamic Ijazah, a reversal of his earlier view that saw both systems as of the most fundamental difference, was rejected by Huff as unsubstantiated. Universities did not originally admit female students into their doctoral programs. The first doctorates to female students were granted in 1678 to Elena Cornaro Piscopia at the University of Padua, in 1732 to Laura Bassi at Bologna University, in 1754 to Dorothea Uxleben at Halle University, and in 1785 to Maria Isidra de Guzman y de la Cerda at Complutense University, Madrid. By contrast, the University of Oxford did not accept female scholars until 1920, and the first female to earn a University of Cambridge Ph.D. succeeded in 1926. The use and meaning of the doctorate has changed over time, and is subject to regional variations. For instance, until the early 20th century few academic staff or professors in English-speaking universities held doctorates, except for very senior scholars and those in holy orders. After that time, the German practice of requiring lecturers to have completed a research doctorate spread. Universities' shift to research-oriented education increased the doctorate's importance. Today, a doctorate is generally a prerequisite for an academic career, although many recipients do not work in academia. Although the research doctorate is almost universally accepted as the standard qualification for an academic career, it is a relatively new convention. Professional doctorates, which ironically, are not considered doctorates at all in many countries, such as the United States, were developed in the United States in the 19th century during a movement to improve the educations of academics by raising the requirements for entry and completion of the degree necessary to enter academia. These first professional degrees were created to help strengthen professional training programs. The first professional doctorate to be offered in the United States was the M.D. at the College of Philadelphia in 1765, with the first doctoral degrees conferred in 1771, nearly 100 years before the first Ph.D. was awarded in the U.S. in 1861. However, the M.D. degree is a vocational degree, in that students are trained similarly to other students in vocational schools or institutes, not educated. Consequently, M.D. degrees are not considered doctoral degrees. The Juris Doctor was subsequently established by Harvard University for the same reasons that the M.D. was established. The older-style doctorates, now usually called higher doctorates in the United Kingdom, take much longer to complete, since candidates must show themselves to be leading experts in their subjects. These doctorates are now less common in some countries and are often awarded honoris causa. The habilitation is still used for academic recruitment purposes in many countries within the EU, and involves either a new long thesis or a portfolio of research publications. The habilitation demonstrates independent and thorough research, experience in teaching and lecturing, and, more recently, the ability to generate supportive funding. The habilitation follows the research doctorate, and in Germany it can be a requirement for appointment as a private docent or professor. Types. Since the Middle Ages, the number and types of doctorates awarded by universities proliferated throughout the world. Practices vary from one country to another. While a doctorate usually entitles one to be addressed as doctor, use of the title varies widely, depending on the type and the associated occupation. Research doctorates are awarded in recognition of academic research that is publishable in a peer-refereed academic journal. Generally, earning a research doctorate requires successful completion of a specific coursework regimen. The best-known research degree, in the Anglosphere, is that of Doctor of Philosophy, awarded in many countries throughout the world. Other research doctorates are Doctor of Education, Doctor of Arts, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Professional Studies, Doctor of Social Science, Doctor of Business Administration, Doctor of Management, Doctor of Information Security. Various doctorates in engineering, such as the U.S. Doctor of Engineering, the U.K. Engineering Doctorate, the German Engineering Doctorate, Doctor Ingenieur, and the German Natural Science Doctorate, Doctor Rerum Naturalium. The Doctor of Theology and the Doctor of Sacred Theology are research doctorates in theology. In the UK, an equivalent to a doctorate is the QCF8. Criteria for research doctorates vary, but typically include completing a substantial body of original research. This may take the form of a single thesis or dissertation, or of a portfolio of shorter project reports. The candidate's submission is typically assessed by a committee of examiners. Candidates also typically undergo an oral examination by the committee. Candidates generally take graduate-level courses in the field, as well as study research methodology. The time required to complete a research doctorate varies from 3 years, excluding undergraduate study, to 6 years or more. Licentiate degrees generally have fewer requirements than PhD. Sweden similarly awards both the licentiate's degree as a lower-level doctorate and the proper doctorate as a higher-level degree. Norway abolished its licentiate terminology, calling those qualifications PhDs, and thus lower degrees than the Swedish and Danish doctorates, while equal to the Danish PhD degree and the Swedish licentiate's degree. In other countries such as Belgium, the licentiate is equivalent to a master's degree, while in still others it is a simple diploma. In the pontifical system, a licentiate is equivalent to an advanced master's degree, or the postmaster's coursework required in preparation for a doctorate. Higher doctorate and postdoctoral degrees. A higher tier of research doctorates may be awarded on the basis of a formally submitted portfolio of published research of a particularly high standard. In Poland, that standard was a discovery or innovative element beyond the use of scientific methods. Examples include the Doctor of Science and Doctor of Letters degrees found in the UK, Ireland and some Commonwealth countries, and the traditional doctorates in Scandinavia. The École Saint Thomas d'Aquin of the Université Catholique de Leuven, for instance, has offered the opportunity for students who had already earned a doctorate to earn the degree of maître agrégé. The habilitation teaching qualification under a university procedure with a thesis and an exam is commonly regarded as belonging to this category in Germany, Austria, France, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Poland, etc. The habilitation results in an award of a formal Dr. Habil degree, or the holder of the degree may add Habil to his research doctorate, such as Dr. Phil Habil or Dr. R.E.R. Nat Habil. In some European universities, especially in German-speaking countries, the degree is insufficient to have teaching duties without professor supervision without an additional instructor teaching certificate license, such as private doesn't. In many countries of Central and Eastern Europe, the degree gives the venia legendi, Latin for permission for lecturing, or the ius docendi, right of teaching, a specific academic subject at universities for a lifetime. The French academic system used to have a higher doctorate, called state doctorate, but it was superseded by the habilitation in 1984. Higher doctorates are often also awarded honoris causa when a university wishes to formally recognize an individual's achievements and contributions to a particular field. Doctor of Commerce and Doctor of Medicine can also be awarded at the higher doctorate level. Professional doctorate, though not actually doctorates in most countries, such as the United States. Professional doctorates are awarded in certain fields where there is no scholarly education and scholarly research. Examples include the US and Canadian degrees of Doctor of Medicine, Doctor of Optometry, Doctor of Physical Therapy, Doctor of Chiropractic, Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, Doctor of Pharmacy, Doctor of Psychology, Doctor of Behavioral Health, Doctor of Social Work, Doctor of Dental Surgery, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, and Doctor of Nursing Practice. In Australia, the term is on occasion applied to the scientific juridic doctor, and on other occasions that degree is also categorized as a research degree. Honorary when a university wishes to formally recognize an individual's contributions to a particular field or philanthropic efforts. It may choose to grant a doctoral degree honoris causa, the university waiving their usual formal requirements for bestowal of the degree. Some universities do not award honorary degrees, for example, Cornell University, the University of Virginia, the California Institute of Technology, and Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Professorship is a higher degree, and extreme rarity among degrees are the professorial degrees. In modern times, the status of professor is awarded as a recognition of sustained academic excellence, equivalent in standing to an honorary doctorate, but this is not a degree per se. However, in past times, professor was sometimes awarded as a degree.